All right. What's going on, everyone? Aaron here, Clean Cuts Lawn Care. It is Monday morning following the 4th. Had a really good 3-day weekend. The 4th was good. We went to a cookout at our daughter's house, and when we came back home, some people that live behind us had a nice little firework display going on, which they do every year. They have a pretty good one. So I have 2 different jobs going on today. One's a decent sized job, the other one's a small job. However, I have a time limit. I have to get everything wrapped up by 3 o'clock. I have some personal things to do after work today, so you know, I really have to get this done by 3. It's 7:20 right now. I'm gonna go to the small job first. So the big job, you know, she called me last week, told me she had some things that she wants done, and she told me straight up right in the beginning she had a budget, and she told me what the budget was. It's a good budget. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be less than that, and she told me exactly what she wanted done, and it pretty much falls right there at that budget. But there's other things that need to be done, things that are getting in the way while we're mowing. Actually, I need to go back. I forgot one thing. Things that are actually getting in the way while we're mowing. So I told her that's fine. She, you know, we'll keep it right at that price that her budget is at. But I said there's extra things that, you know, really need to be done, and I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do them if it's okay with you, and you know, we'll keep it at that price. And of course she said that's fine. It's, you know, it's things that's going to help me out. There's a tree hanging in my way in the backyard when I'm mowing. There's these what I call weed trees all around the fence that we have to go through to get to the backyard. Those all need cut down. So things like that. But the first job I'm going to go to is smaller. They have a huge tree branch down, not huge, but a big tree branch down. It's been down since we took the yard over 2 years ago. But it's the one where the neighbor trimmed the fence line, even though it was growing onto their property, and they took all the debris and threw it into this backyard of our customer. And it's just there, a huge mess. So I'm sure it's different everywhere. How it works here is anything that grows onto your property is yours and you're responsible for it. The same as if, let's say, a big tree is right on the property line, but it belongs to your neighbor. Anything that grows over the property line is yours. And if that tree falls onto your house, but it belongs to the neighbor, anything past your property line is yours and you're responsible for it. So let's say your neighbor's tree falls onto your house, it's your problem, and you know, you have to contact your insurance to deal with it. So no, these people were not allowed to trim this stuff and throw it over there. It doesn't work that way. It was over the property line. It belongs to them. They know we mow it every week. They could have came to me and said, hey, I want to trim all this stuff and don't have anywhere to put it. I would have just said throw it in the truck. But whatever. Financially, it's going to be a really good day. Put my seatbelt on here. Financially, it's going to be a really good day if I'm able to get through both jobs. So that's exciting. All right, let's go. All right, so here's the first job. This is what I was telling you about that's been down since we got the property, plus everything over there. They threw that pile there. They damaged all this stuff here when they threw it over here. So this stuff is, I'm not going to take it with me. I'm just going to put it right over here. But at least, you know, it'll be out of the way. All that stuff I am going to take with me. Good firewood, actually. This has been neat and gone. This is going to be good with this out of the way now. Because I had to do all this with a trimmer around here because we couldn't get through here. Perfect. Once I get this over here, I'll make cleaner cuts on this. I just had to get it out of the way for now. Yeah, see, all this is what they threw over here, and a lot of it was on here. I pulled it off the first week I came here and seen it, but it didn't matter. It had already laid all that down, and it all came from that fence on the other side of the fence line, which clearly is theirs. I mean, granted, they, you know, they should be taking care of this property, but so it's like, on one hand I don't blame them, but on the other, you know, the law says it's yours. All right, all done. Got that big lead that was down, gone. Everything they broke over here, gone. All the loose stuff that they threw over here is gone. You can see where it was sitting for 2 weeks. I wish they would have someone come take this down. You know, when I'm back here mowing, I do worry. I got to keep my eyes on it. I mean, this is the lead right here that fell. Now you have the 2 leads over there. Weight going this way, weight going that way. It's off to the left. Went ahead and went to the dump. By the time I get there, I'm gonna have about 6 hours to get this job done. I should be able to do it in less than that, I'm pretty certain anyway. But you never know. I mean, anything could happen. A few of the bushes I have to not just trim, I have to cut a few of these bushes down real low. Let me see, where am I going? This way. So I have to use a saw and cut a bunch of these bushes down low. So it really could take me a while. I have to trim a tree. I have to cut a few weed trees out. Getting some of the beds with a trimmer to knock these weeds down. Come on. They got construction going right here in the front. So it's hard to get out. I'm going right after this car. So yeah, this job could take a while, but I'm hoping to get it done before 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, I have to get out of there and go deal with this other stuff. So anyway, all this, this past month, brand new battery, brand new alternator, wiring got fixed, brand new brake pads and rotors. Now so I didn't have time to do the brakes myself like I wanted to. We were just way backed up. I ended up having the shop do it. We went and picked it up. I dropped Robbie off to pick it up Thursday morning. He picked it up, brought it to the first house. He was gonna meet me and then we were gonna drop the truck off. He said something's wrong with the brakes. I said, what? So I get in just to drive it around the corner, and sure enough, the pedal's going straight to the floor. I get under the truck and look, and the passenger side brake tube in the front is broke. It's cut. It looks like it got caught on something. But that brake tube was replaced about a year ago. It was still brand new. So I took it back to them. They replaced it, fixed everything. Everything's great. Brakes feel good. I fixed the air conditioning in this truck yesterday. A brand new compressor was put in when we bought the truck, shortly after buying the truck. And when I got it back the next day, no air. The compressor, the clutch on the compressor was turning on and off, on and off. Obviously it had a leak somewhere, but I don't feel like they tested the pressure. The clutch wasn't staying on enough for me to add Freon to it. So, but it's been so hot lately, I did something you really don't want to do yesterday, which I went and bought Freon with a sealer. My truck takes oh shit, I can't remember the name or the numbers now. I'm sorry, I can't remember the numbers now. I went and got my Freon that I needed with a gauge on it, and I jumped the compressor basically to get it to spin, just so I could fill up the Freon, which of course, you know, I had a gauge on it, a pressure gauge I have over here still. Shit, it's over here somewhere. I must have moved it. Oh, right here. So, you know, it came with a pressure gauge on it. So I jumped the compressor to get the clutch to run while I filled it up. It's working. Air's nice and cold right now. I don't know if the leak is sealed off or not. So I'm gonna get one more can, which of course I won't need the pressure tester. I just need the can. So I'm gonna if it's still leaking, I'm gonna refill it up with more Freon and more sealer, and hopefully that, you know, ends the leak. But at least the air is working. Hopefully it'll work for the rest of the summer. Man, what a huge difference. Ice cold too, so that's really good. So the truck's right now running top notch, knock on wood. Takes a lot of stress off me, you know, knowing that the truck's running really good right now, no problems. I put some money into it. All the repairs are repairs I could have done, but I had no time, you know. It's just how it's going right now. Even we had a really good month last month. The last 2 months, man, we've really good, way better than normal. You know, I've done a lot of jobs, and we had a really good spring, we had a really good winter. Summer's good so far. Past couple months have been really good financially, so pretty happy with everything right now. So this right here is coming out. This row here, so all these are getting cut down to about the window. You can't see the window, it's way back there, but they're getting cut down to about the window and then trimmed back. There's another one of these in the backyard coming out, 2 small bushes to trim. Here, I want to cut that out because we go through there with the mower, trimming those 2, taking that one down. Some stuff over there, trimming. This is the tree that's in my way coming down. Well, I'm just trimming it. I might have to take this whole branch off, honestly. There we go. That's good. Okay, that's good for this one. Right there it is. Good for over here. Like I said, I still got to trim those. This thing likes to stall on me, and it's had a full tune-up. Come on. You know what, let's take this one off too. Alright, so this stuff was in the way trying to, you know, do the perimeter and run this edge right here. So that's gone. Now I got to trim those two right there, knock some of them weeds down over there. I want to get some of this out of here. All right, first I'm gonna get all the branches cleaned up, front and back. Then I'm gonna go around with a chainsaw and cut some of the smaller stuff along the perimeter. And I'm gonna knock some of the weeds down in some of the beds. Then I'm gonna clean up. I already did the shrubs over on that side. I got them as low as I felt safe taking them. Here, I'll show you. If she wants them any lower, I took about a foot off of this one up top all the way around. I took about a good 2.5 feet off the top of all three of these. Took about 2.5 feet in on all sides. Probably about 1.5 feet off of this one and 2.5 off the sides, 2.5 off the top. But if she wants more taken off, you can see the growth only has about another 6-7 inches up top. Then we're talking about cutting all this down, and I don't know. Is it gonna? Would it heal? Would it burn it out? I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, about a foot or so off of there. Brought it around. That's tied into the fence or not. Couple small things I'm going to cut down along the house, and time to clean up and see where we're at. All right, all done. I'm taking some pictures in case she can't come out here to take a look. To get this looking even somewhat normal, she'd have to spend about $5 grand. Yeah, an easy $5 grand. You know, there's just so much here to do. But I did everything I was hired to do, plus a decent amount that we weren't. and you know, it's for free. So let me see here. This is done. Okay, so this corner one's done. All these are done. And it's unreal the amount I took off of them, and they're still so huge. Cleaned all that stuff out. In the middles of all that. Whew, this cleanup was ruthless.